This is the 2025 GMC Sierra 2500 SLT, and in today's Vehicle Visionary video, I'm going to tell you why this is not a Pawpaw truck. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day, and you might wonder, what's up with the title on this video? I've had a lot of comments on these trucks and similar trucks over the years with people telling me that they are a Pawpaw truck, and I'm curious to know, for those of you who might say that, what truck on the market do you not consider to be a Pawpaw truck? Very curious to know what your answers are. If you want to know more about this truck, maybe come in and buy it from Mike Morgan Buick GMC in Shreveport, Louisiana. Check out the link down in the description of the video. Here is your remote, lock, unlock, remote start, and you can open your power tailgate right there, and the panic button is there. We'll have our locator lighting. When I hit the button to unlock the truck, you're gonna see that come on, and that makes it easy to find your truck after dark. You will find full LED lighting, LED headlights, daytime running lights, and fog lights. Down here on the lower portion of the bumper, your recovery hooks will be here. Now there is going to be some chrome here. Some people might like that, some people might not. Tell me what your thoughts are. By the way, that flickering effect you see with the daytime running lights, not really happening. It only looks that way through the lens of my GoPro. And you'll see the sensors here on the bumper. A lot of safety features to help you out with those driving aids, driving down the road. A lot going on with this truck as far as some great technology goes, including the multiple camera views. Here is your front view camera, and if you're wondering what that is, that little notch sticking out right there is a front camera washer. This truck will feature 20-inch wheels, and you'll find a spare tire located underneath the rear of the truck. And like I said, a lot of chrome. You're gonna have the Texas edition chrome here, chrome mirror caps, but you'll also find the nice bright lighting to help you out after dark depending on what you're doing. And the mirrors offer a lot of functionality. They're heated, they're power adjustable, blind spot monitoring is built in right there. And one other feature that I know a lot of people like to know about, are they power folding? Yes, they are. You can actually go into your center screen, into your settings, and set the truck where those will fold and unfold when you lock and unlock the truck. The one thing that I think is missing on your chrome door handles, while you have passive entry, that's this button right here on the front door handles. Anytime it's on the front door handles, I think it should also be on the rear. You're going to have your assist steps right here, not only to help with getting in and out of the interior of the truck, but you've got the step right here that makes it very easy to gain access to the front portion of your bed. The in-bed LED lighting helps to illuminate the bed quite nicely after dark. You will also have your cab lighting, and you'll see that you have the X31 off-road label here. This truck is very capable off-road, including some underbody skid plates to help protect the underside of the truck. And we'll finish things off here with our LED tail lights. I'll give you a quick look at those in action, see if we can get that to come on for us right there. You can see that. And a little more lighting here to talk about. This is going to help you after dark as far as hitching up to a trailer. And obviously this is going to be one of your cameras, multiple cameras, like I said, all over the truck. And once again, we're gonna have those sensors back here that are gonna help you out in so many different ways. And one more thing that I like as far as the steps go, you've got the corner steps here on the bumper, one on each side, that will make it easy to gain access to the bed when you don't need to hop all the way in. If you want to buy a truck with a naturally aspirated engine under the hood, this is a great option. And this is the 5.3 liter V8, 355 horsepower, 383 pounds-feet of torque. Made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. This truck will feature a 24-gallon gas tank, and your MPGs come in at a potential of 15 city, 19 highway, 17 combined, and 5.9 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. This truck will have a 2-speed transfer case. This truck can tow up to 13,000 pounds and features a payload of 1,960 pounds. When it comes to your tailgate, this is a multi-pro tailgate. There's a lot to talk about here. I think it's the best tailgate in the industry, personally. Here's why. Now you can see that it opens in the conventional manner. You have the bottom button for that. When you push the top button up here, this area opens. That can be used as a table with a multitude of potential uses, and it can also be used as a bed extender, as you can see. But I'm going to close that up, and we're going to open that and show you bed extender number 2, at least not the option number 2. There it is. As far as that goes, when I close that up and then hit that button one more time, this is another way that makes it very easy to gain access to the interior of the bed without actually getting inside. I can reach a lot further in than I would if this was a conventional style tailgate or this area was in its upright position. You're going to find a total of 12 tie downs, and you will find the handle right here that makes it very easy to get in and out with what ultimately is a step. It just has a lot of different functionality beyond that. And you will also find some lighting built in on each side right there. 120 volt power outlet will be right here. You'll find one here and also in the interior of the truck. Now you do have to push a button to turn power on to the 120 volt power outlets. Obviously that's a big advantage. That keeps somebody from coming up and trying to plug in right here when you're not around and using up the battery on your truck, the charge capacity. And something else that I like that's going to come here is you have a bed liner. That is nice to have. Some trucks out there, as you likely know, that's something you're going to have to add in, such as with some of the Ford F-150s. We'll also find the power sliding rear window, that little square right there in the center. One more little trick I wanted to show you. If you have this area of your tailgate down like this, and then you have a trailer hitch mounted there, what happens if you open the tailgate and it comes down and hits that ball that would be mounted? Well, you could obviously damage your tailgate. Well, there's a fail-safe that you can turn on and off by holding this button down. It takes about 10 seconds to do that. When you see your taillights flash, which you're about to, that means that you cannot open this section. Notice when I push the button now, it won't open. But I can still open the tailgate in the conventional manner. And obviously to turn that back off, you just repeat the process. Wait another 10 seconds, you're going to wait for the taillights to flash, and no big deal where that is concerned. In case you are wondering, the exterior color on this truck is called Volcanic Red Tint Coat, and it has a dark walnut and slate interior. And there is no shortage of room. Plenty of room with the armrest. You have the nice large door bins. You can put a bottle right here. Something I have as a favorite personal feature on these trucks is the in-seat storage. It's going to be not only here on the left side, but on the right side over there as well, the driver and the passenger sides. Plenty of room where that is concerned. And you can lift the seats up. You do have the optional storage that you can opt for. This is not a standard feature on these trucks, but it's one of the many available features that you can have. Something that I like about these trucks is that you can take a lower trim level, such as the SLT, and have a lot of features that you would have on higher trim levels, such as the Denali or the Denali Ultimate. There are still some things you can't get on the SLT trim level that you can get on those trim levels, but you can do that for a much lower price to a large degree. We're going to hop inside. Here is your rear seat storage. Cup holders. We're going to have our heated outboard seats. Hey GMC, let's put some cooled seats back here too. That would be a good thing in the future. Maybe we'll see that. And the air conditioning vents, that's something else I would like to see change in the future, would be larger air conditioning vents back here. You also have a couple of USB options and the fold down armrest with the cup holders built in. Personally, I don't like this design, and you might wonder why that is. Well, the parallel cup holders take away from the ability to use this as an armrest in all situations. If there was a cup or a bottle in one or the other, well, the passengers couldn't use that as easily. If you have vertical cup holders like this, that would eliminate that problem and you would still have the same functionality. This truck also features a conventional size sunroof that will tilt and slide open. And just as we saw with the rear seat, no shortage of space whatsoever. The same applies here to the driver and passenger seats. Plenty of room again with the armrest and the door bin. And here's something that I think a lot of people are going to like. 10-way adjustable driver and passenger seats. You can raise and lower, move it back and forth, change the position of the seat back, and you have lumbar support built in on both seats. They're both heated and ventilated. And we'll have a little bit of storage space here on the side of the center console. We'll have the upper glove box and the lower glove box. The sticker price is $68,889. Let's see what else you get beyond what I've already shown you. Home link will be here. That's the 3 buttons right here. You can program up to 3 garage doors, and then you have the controls for your power sliding rear window and then everything else for controlling the power sunroof. You can see what you have here as far as OnStar goes. All those different features are going to be there. And here on the driver's side door, we're going to have seat memory. Let's put that on the passenger side as well if it's on the driver's side. At least that's my thought on that particular subject. Controls for your side view mirrors. You know this button right here. You can fold and unfold your side view mirrors. You can also lock and unlock all of the windows and control the windows here. Your power parking brake is located here. Driving modes, that's your drive mode selector. Let's see what our driving modes are. You're going to have normal, sport, and you saw off-road. Those are your 3 driving modes. And then we'll have the controls here for our light with the bed, other exterior lights as far as what I showed you with the mirror and those other areas. And then here are the controls for the headlights and tail lights. You can leave that on auto if you want to, or turn them on manually, whatever you wish to do. You'll have everything for adaptive cruise control right here, voice commands, and then you can go through a lot of different options here with your driver's display or instrument cluster. Now, if you don't like the way that looks, let me show you how I do this. I'm going to arrow over one time. You can change the display layout to several different presets. You're going to have progressive. We'll run through this as quickly as we can. There's digital for those of you who want to see. And you can do more than just this. There's going to be the clean look. If you're saying, you know what, Tom, that's all fine and good, but I'd like to make individual adjustments, well, you can do that too. We're going to go back here, and you can see that you can adjust what's on the left side, the right side, lower gauges, your info page options. You can change your units, speed warning. You can see what all is here, software update. If you get to a point where you don't like what you see and you want to start over again, you can reset to defaults. That's very easy to do. And then we have several other different bits of information that we can work through right here, depending on what you need to know about the truck or what you need to change. I'm also going to use the scroll wheel, which is right here. You can see what I'm doing to scroll through different things such as the air filter life, brake pad life. All of that's going to be here, your oil life. Depending on what you need to see and know about, well, this is where it's going to be found. A very simple technology setup to use here. Not hard to learn. Shifter paddles on the back of the steering wheel. On this right-hand side of the steering wheel, you will adjust the volume. Over here on the left, you can change what you're listening to. If I can get back there and show that to you right there. And we're also going to find something here that I think is some of the best technology I've seen in these trucks, the 13.4-inch infotainment screen or center screen. You have a lot going on here. You have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Those are grayed out right now because I don't have anything paired, but you can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You have Google Assistant, and you have the ability to go in and add different options as far as the Play Store goes, depending on what you want to do. Google Maps, your phone can be paired if you need to right there, pushing that option. And here are the different camera views. Now, I showed you the front view camera washer earlier in the video. How does that work? This is the button that's going to activate that. So whether or not you have it on the screen, it really doesn't matter. But every time you run the windshield washer fluid for your windshield, you're also going to see a stream of windshield washer fluid sprayed across that front camera. So if you're curious about that, or maybe you see some moisture up there and you're wondering, what is that from? That's what it's going to be. And we have multiple views, the front view, the rear view. We have a couple of overhead views in addition to the 360-degree view we see here. Your side view mirror cameras. Going to make it very easy to see what's going on around you like that. And then when you need to hitch up to a trailer, that's easy to use for that. Or if you just want to see what's behind you, you can do that too. Now, one thing I'll show you later in the video, I've had a lot of people in the past, previous to this particular generation of technology for these trucks, say, how do I keep the cameras up while I'm driving? You can do that now, and I will show you that during the test drive. Let's go over here and take a look at a few more things. Everything for trailering is going to be here. I'm not going to go into great detail with this, but just to show you some of what is here, there's how you get to that. Climate, you can control that right here. Now, you don't have to. You do have physical controls, as you can see. That's everything here for ventilated seats, heated seats, and one thing I didn't talk about earlier, your heated steering wheel is going to be there. One more thing I want to go into and give you a little bit of detail on is going to be your settings. Now, anything you need to change with the truck, you can do here. You're going to find all of that right here. the main thing I want to go into is vehicle and show you a few things where that is concerned. Teen driver mode is there, rear seat reminder, buckle to drive. I have that turned off because I'm moving around in the parking lot here, changing where I have the truck sitting for different parts of the video, but do use your seatbelt when you drive. But here's something I talked about earlier that I know you like to know about your collision and detection systems. You can change the alert type. You have automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, adaptive cruise go notifier, lane change alert, park assist tow bar, rear cross traffic alert, and rear pedestrian alert. Something else I wanted to show you, I talked about how you can set the side view mirrors to automatically fold and unfold when you lock and unlock the truck. You're going to come in here to comfort and convenience, and there is remote mirror folding. That's what that feature is. If you want to use it, make sure it is checked to on, or if you don't want to use it, you can check it to off right there. You can also go in like this and do the same thing. Down here, we're going to have several one-touch buttons for things such as lane keeping assist, park assist. Here's where you turn the auto stop start off. You can lower the tailgate there, and you'll have your hazard light button. Pretty sure everybody knows the majority of what is here beyond that. Our dual zone climate control with all of our different settings will be here, and plenty of room within the center console area. We're going to have some storage right there in the front, our cup holders. Now the shifter, I'm always curious to know what people think about that. Would you rather have the column shifter up here, or do you like this shifter? Maybe you prefer it. Pretty easy to deal with and figure out what that is. I don't need to show you too much in its functionality. The center console lid doubles as an armrest, and you have plenty of room here within. You'll also have the removable tray. Now one thing I also want to show, you have the second 120 volt power outlet right here, your wireless charging pad, and your USB options. But do you notice what is not here? There's no 12 volt power outlet within the interior of these trucks. I don't know why that is. I know for me, I drive a GMC 2500 with an identical interior to this, with the exception of the shifter. I have a column shifter, but I had to buy a USB to 12 volt so that I could use my dash cams. All right, here we go on the test drive. When you drive this truck in sport mode, it does wake it up a little bit beyond driving in normal mode. Truck gets down the road with absolutely no trouble whatsoever. And you'll notice what I said earlier is happening. Cameras stay on the screen no matter the speed you're driving. Now, I don't recommend staying focused on that area, but there could potentially be some advantages to having that up, and you can do that with every single camera view. So for those of you who have asked about that in the past, there you go. Now you know that you can do that. Nothing new. It's been this way for the last few years as far as having this 13.4 inch screen. The previous screen before that, that technology did not allow for such a thing. So I assume that GMC saw a lot of you commenting on videos like mine and asking for that to be made available to do. And you may wonder, why would you say this is not a Pawpaw truck, Tom? Well, I'll give you my primary reason for that, and that is the technology. When you think back to trucks that our parents and great-grandparents may have driven many, many years ago, decades ago, you didn't have all of this type of technology here with this truck. So that is one of the primary reasons. You would have more of a minimalistic interior. You wouldn't have a center screen. You wouldn't have cameras. You wouldn't have all of the technology that is available on these trucks these days. And that's one of the primary reasons why I tend to wonder why people say these are a Pawpaw truck. But again, I hope somebody leaves a comment to explain why they say that. But overall, a very enjoyable truck to drive. It's comfortable. These bucket seats are comfortable, and you don't have to go with this particular interior setup as far as having this center console with the wireless charging pad. You can actually have a bench seat up here where you can have 3 people, and you can still have a fold down center console, but if you need that extra seating, you can have as much as 6 instead of 5, so that does make a difference where that is concerned. So it just depends on what it is you do or don't want. Or maybe you want to save a little bit of money where these trucks are concerned and not go with the technology such as the wireless charging pad and the setup we have with the console right here. Everything is easy to get to. I like that. You can use Google Assistant to set up navigation. so you don't have to stop. You can do a lot of things with with voice commands, such as setting up navigation, and it's laid out in a very nice manner, I believe. I like that we still have a lot of physical controls and switches. Everything isn't in the screen. That's good. I hope it stays that way for a long time to come. Overall, I'd say it's a very well-balanced truck, and depending on what you want to spend, obviously there are additional trim levels and additional engine options available. Depending on the trim levels you go with, you actually have 4 different potential engine options, such as the 2.7-liter 4-cylinder, the 3-liter Duramax diesel, the 5.3-liter V8, or the 6.2-liter V8. So it really just depends on what it is you want or how much money you want to spend on what you end up with as far as your truck goes. And there it is, the 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 SLT with all of the technology that is here. While your grandfather may buy a truck like this, or somebody who's a Pawpaw, that doesn't mean it's exclusively a Pawpaw truck. A very high-tech truck, very luxurious, but still having the typical features and functionality of a pickup truck as far as towing and hauling and all of those great things go. So tell me what you think about this truck. When GMC redesigns the Sierra, I'm curious to know what you would like to see change. Tell me about that down in the comments section. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Mike Morgan Buick GMC for loaning me this truck for the day so I could tell you all about it, and a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. Make sure to share this video, if you would please, on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.